Hey, I'm Stephan, and today we're going to talk about how to become more aggressive or develop the ability to turn aggression on and off, especially in the context of competition. Because a lot of people have problems with this. They have difficulty turning it on. They have difficulty getting on fire. They have difficulty giving themselves permission to go full bore in a competition. And of course, you have to go full bore. So where this came from was from an Instagram Q&A that I did. So before I forget, follow me on Instagram, Stephan_Kesting. I do a lot of stuff there. I do a lot of lives. I do a lot of Q&As. So this came from a person asking on a Q&A, how do I get more aggressive in competition? And it's a good question. So first, let's talk about what aggression means or what aggressive looks like. Number one, aggressive can mean, it doesn't necessarily mean, but it can mean using dick moves, like knee in the face on a smaller person, rear naked choking the jaw, or face cranking guys, especially if they're smaller. Chin in the eye, knee on the sternum, really hard leg locks, really hard arm locks where you apply it dynamically and ballistically, and maybe the guy taps in time, maybe he doesn't, but he's probably going to get injured. That's not what I'm talking about. That is certainly aggressive. There might be a time and a place for that. If you're in the finals of the Abu Dhabi Championships, maybe you can go harder. If you're going against somebody who's going to be competing at a high level, you might want to do some of those things because they're going to be running into it. But generally, you don't want to be the guy who's rear naked choking the jaw into oblivion. You don't want to be the guy who's using chin in the eye socket to pass half guard, unless the other guy needs to be prepared for it. That's a very small percentage of your training partners and a very small percentage of the time. So I'm not talking about dick moves. I'm talking about either using a ton of strength or moving very, very fast. Those are two other ways that you can be aggressive. Guys who use a ton of strength are always pulling. Usually they're big and they're going 100% all the time. They're pulling. They're holding as hard as they can. They finish every match just in a pool of sweat, and because they're usually in good shape, because if nothing else, it's great isometric exercise, their opponents are exhausted. The other guy's always moving fast, pushing the pace. Rather than making a strength contest, he's pushing the pace. Those last two things are more legitimate expressions of aggression. So let's go back to the core question. How do you become more aggressive? Number one, you got to give yourself permission to be aggressive. Some people don't feel comfortable with going hard. They don't feel comfortable with unleashing their inner animal once in a while. So if that's you, if that's the case, know that it's an important thing to be able to develop. Know that it's an important thing to be able to turn on. I personally have a problem with turning aggression on mid-roll. If I know that I'm going to be in a death match, okay, good. I see you, we've rolled before, you always go hard. All right, I know what I'm in for. Where I personally have problems is dialing it up mid-match. If we start out light and go easy and roll, that's fine. And then if the other guy starts going harder and harder, it's a little bit hard for me to realize, to make the transition that, wait a second, we're not going light anymore. Now we're going hard and match that. So that's where I have problems. I think I'm getting better at adjusting, at modulating mid-match, but it took awareness. I had to become aware that this is a problem. Similarly, you might need to become aware that you're not giving yourself permission to occasionally be aggressive. Now, how do you train to be aggressive? Well, I'm not suggesting that you do dick moves. Using a ton of strength might be appropriate in some cases. You might want to go into some sparring matches. Remember that how you perform in a tournament is conditioned by how you train in class at least some of the time. So I'm not saying go full bore, balls to the wall every single sparring match to prepare for that tournament, but do it occasionally. Say to your training partner, look, can we go really hard this round? I'm going to go really hard. Then if he gets on top and crushes you and you can't get out, that's okay. You told him that you were going to go hard. You're going to feel what him going hard goes like, and if you get on top, then you go hard. One way to go hard against people who are smaller, more delicate, people that you don't want to use a ton of strength on, is to use that speed thing. So if you're a bigger guy, you're going to use speed. You're going to continuously try to pass. Don't rest. Don't match his pace. Simply go faster. Simply go faster than he's going, or try to go faster than he's going, and that will by default translate to an aggressive pace. I'm not saying that there isn't a time to get on top, to get the crossface and absolutely grind him if you're trying to be aggressive. That's aggressive too. But most of the time, being aggressive means hustle, 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 hustle. Yes, it means that you're going to be tired at the end of the match. That's great. You just got an extra conditioning session in. You just got extra cardio, muscular endurance, power endurance, conditioning in. Good for you. This is how it's supposed to feel. You're supposed to be tired at the end of a round of going hard. So by being able to go hard some of the time and giving yourself in sparring and giving yourself permission to go hard in tournament and visualizing it, it really helps having that switch, to have that on-off switch. Something you got to experiment with too. I've gotten into tournaments way too relaxed. I remember I was watching some Japanese fighters who'd come into the ring, lie down and almost have a nap. I was like, that's a good idea. I'll try that. And I did that at my next tournament. I was like lying there, flat, almost sleeping, or trying to sleep, pretending like I was sleeping, trying to trick my body into having that sleeping feeling. And then, they call me for my match and I go and I was like, I'm just going to relax, my friend. And it was really hard to dial it up. So that was too relaxed. Some people are too aggressive. They only have a certain gas tank. Their gas tank has got 6 units of fuel and they burn it all in the first 2 minutes because they're going. That's too aggressive. For every person, for every situation, for every match, there's a magic zone there that the right level of aggression should be. And it might change over time. There might be a time when you got to be super aggressive. The guy pulls guard. You see, we have a slow motion camera going, you get your grips and the guy's pulling guard. That's the time to be aggressive. If you're there and relaxed and you're not going, he's going to pull guard, you're going to land on the ground. Now you got to fight your way out of his guard. Why not go super hard at that point? He jumps guard, you react. You fight. Before he gets his guard stabilized, you pass, you get to the side. Now you can still be aggressive, but you're going to dial it down a little bit. Now you can rest, right? The time to work was earlier. It doesn't mean you're going to be going balls to the wall for the entire match. There will be this ebb and flow of energy. But the ability to turn it on there is really important. Finally, I think this is a problem for some people who compete. They almost want to absolve themselves in advance for the possibility of losing. So they go in there and, man, I'm just going to use technique. I'm just going to flow roll. I'm just going to take it easy. Oh, damn it, I got arm locked. I'm not going to be aggressive today. I'm going to let that other dick be aggressive. And, oh, look, he's taking my back, but I'm not being aggressive. And, oh, I got choked. So then that leaves them the excuse that, oh, I wasn't being aggressive. That's why I lost. Of course I lost. I wasn't being aggressive. That other guy was being aggressive. And that's a lot easier for some people to handle than, I'm really going to go out there. I'm really going to give it my all. I'm going to be aggressive. And then if they lose, that's hard to deal with. They actually don't have any excuses left. Sometimes the guy is just going to be better than you. Sometimes it's not going to be your day. Sometimes he hit his A game and you hit your B game and he won. Next time it might be the other way around. But by being aggressive in a match and then potentially losing, you have to be ready for that. So I think some people, and one of the reasons they don't give themselves permission to go all out, to give it their all, is because they're already trying to hedge their bets before it ever started and give themselves an excuse in advance for when they might lose. All right? Good luck. This is a trained skill. This comes from visualization. This comes from rehearsal in training. This comes with experience. The more tournaments you go to, the easier you'll find that modulation switch where you can dial it up, dial it down. Oh, in this situation I should go hard. In this situation I should go light. Give yourself permission. Rehearse it visually. Train it occasionally in sparring. Don't be a dick. And go do more tournaments. I think you'll be able to solve this problem quite readily. All right? Once again, Instagram, Stephan Kessing. Look for me there. I do a lot of stuff and hope to see you there.